The wait is almost over. One of the most powerful moments of this entire year is standing right before us, yet hardly anyone is speaking about it. On August 23rd, the black moon arrives, a rare visitor that only graces the sky once every few years. But here's the truth most people overlook. You can't simply show up on the night of the 23rd and expect to be ready. The shift begins the day before, on August 22nd, when a hidden doorway quietly opens and sets everything in motion. This is not just another new moon. It carries a weight that stretches far beyond astrology and far beyond prophecy. Its influence is tangible, and it can reach into your life and even into the lives of those around you, especially the ones who remain unaware of what's unfolding. Ancient cultures understood this mystery far better than most of us do today. When the moon disappeared from the sky, they did not celebrate. They feared it. They knew that its absence carried a meaning deeper than appearances, a message that something far greater was moving just beneath the surface. And the truth is, what you choose to hold on to or release before the 22nd comes to a close will shape the way this black moon reveals itself to you on the 23 RD. For the ones who are awake, this awareness matters even more. Once you understand the rarity and intention behind this black moon, you will never look at the night sky the same way again. A black moon doesn't just appear by accident. It arrives with precision, with purpose. It only shows itself when a cycle is ready to break. It acts as a sudden blackout, a switch that shuts down all the noise, the pride, the distractions. It is silence before the reset. And while most people will dismiss it as just another ordinary night, those who feel its power will realize that the true test doesn't come from what the moon itself does. It comes from how they respond to it. The greatest mistake anyone could make right now is to treat this black moon as though it were any other new moon. Many will rush into their rituals, writing down intentions, lighting candles, asking the universe for blessings and fresh beginnings. But this moon doesn't work in that way. Its energy is cloaked, distorted, mysterious. What you call out for under its shadow will not return in the way you imagine. The black moon is not here to grant wishes. It is here to deliver truth. It reflects back what has already been built, what has already been earned, whether you are ready to face it or not. It's like whispering into a mirror that isn't turned toward you. The echo that comes back is bent, reshaped, revealing not the surface of your request but the hidden truth behind it. And if what you ask for is not aligned with what your soul has prepared for, the response may return in a way you never expected. This isn't a curse, and it's not a punishment. The black moon carries a protective force within it. It doesn't come to harm you, but to shield you from chasing illusions that were never meant for you. Instead, it redirects you toward what already belongs to you, toward the blessings and truths that no distortion can take away. That's why this isn't a time for begging or demanding something new. It's a moment for grounding yourself, for standing firm in the foundation you've already been building, and for allowing the seeds you've planted to take root more deeply than ever before. Here's the hidden truth. If you spend this time pleading with the universe, you're signaling that you're not yet ready. But if you stand steady in the knowing of what is already yours, the black moon will seal it, anchoring it securely into your life. Most of the time, reality comes to us softened. Life filters itself for our minds, showing only what we can handle in pieces small enough to bear. That's why the daily repetition, the work, the conversations, the routines can feel ordinary, even tolerable, even when they aren't truly fulfilling. The mind acts like a curtain, closing when reality's edges grow too sharp, protecting us from the raw weight of what lies behind it. But when the black moon arrives, that curtain no longer holds. It's torn wide open. Suddenly, reality steps forward without disguise. The silence becomes heavier, the sharpness undeniable, and the repeating patterns around you impossible to ignore. You start noticing things you'd usually dismiss, the emptiness hidden in routines, the way conversations circle endlessly as if people are reciting from a script, the laughter that rings hollow because there's no joy inside it. What once passed as normal life begins to look mechanical, staged, almost artificial. And the black moon doesn't stop there. It goes deeper. It pulls apart not just your habits, but the structures beneath them. You begin to see how much of society runs on cycles no one ever questions. People chasing money they don't care about, slipping into roles that don't reflect who they really are, following systems they never consciously chose. The smiles, the handshakes, the polite words spoken without meaning, all of it begins to look like a performance. And in that instant, you're no longer just an actor caught inside the play. You become the one sitting in the audience, watching the performance unfold with open eyes, fully aware of the script being followed. For many, That kind of awareness feels unsettling, even painful. It's easier to believe that life is organic, that every role has meaning, and that all choices are completely free. But the black moon doesn't allow for easy illusions. It reveals reality without its masks, and once you've seen it this way, there's no unseeing it. The black moon is like a quiet hand pulling back a veil, exposing what most people never stop to notice. It shows how much of life is lived on autopilot, how often patterns are repeated without a second thought. You'll feel it in conversations that suddenly seem hollow, in routines that used to feel normal but now drain the life out of you, and in the realization that so much of what the world calls ordinary has no true aliveness at all. This doesn't mean the world is fake or without hope. What it really means is that the veil is finally lifting, and what has been hidden beneath the surface is being revealed. The black moon isn't here to punish or scare you. It's here to set you free. When you finally recognize how mechanical some patterns in life truly are, they lose their hold over you. At first, it might feel like your sense of comfort is slipping away, but in truth, it's the first taste of clarity. And for those who are tuned more deeply, the chosen ones, that clarity comes with a weight that others may never notice, because your spirit is sensitive enough to pick up what most people are content to overlook. While much of the world continues to drift through the same repetitive cycles, half asleep and unaware, you'll start to see the empty spaces where truth has been missing. At first, this awareness can feel lonely, almost as though you've been set apart from the world that everyone else still clings to. But that's where the gift is hidden. To see beyond the filter is to step closer to freedom. And freedom always begins with sight. So when the black moon pulls down the curtain, don't confuse the rawness of what it shows with chaos. What feels uncomfortable at first is really your chance to finally see what's real, once everything false has been stripped away. Others may fight it, clinging desperately to their illusions, but you will recognize the truth. And once it has been revealed to you, it can never be hidden again. That's the design. That's how it has always been meant to unfold. Our ancestors understood this mystery in ways we often forget. They didn't fear the bright, glowing moons that lit up the night sky. They feared the moons that vanished. From the earliest civilizations to sacred scriptures, the dark moon was seen as a sign, a prophecy, a warning that when the moon gave no light, something powerful was shifting in silence. No glow to comfort, no warning to prepare, just a quiet and unseen transfer of power. And the black moon today carries that prophecy forward. It is the vanishing of light, the quiet withdrawal of guidance, the moment when shadows stop hiding and instead step fully into view. To those who came before us, this was never just another phase in the lunar cycle. It was proof that forces far greater than human were moving things in the unseen realms, shifting destinies without announcement. That's why the chosen ones feel this black moon so strongly. When the night sky goes dark twice in a single cycle, it isn't an accident. It is a signal, a reshuffling of the cosmic order, a message that what has long been inscribed above is now beginning to echo below. Whether we're ready to face it or not, tomorrow does not carry just another sunset. It holds the echo of something much older, a prophecy that has whispered its presence through centuries, waiting for this very moment. If your spirit is attuned, you'll understand why the ancients carried both awe and fear for nights such as these. Not everyone will feel the weight of the black moon in the same way. For most, it will pass quietly, no different from any other night. But for those who cling to distractions, for those who cannot sit still without reaching for noise or movement, the pressure of this moon will be felt the hardest. It presses not through chaos swirling around them, but through a restlessness that begins within. It will be felt by those who stir conflict to mask their emptiness, by those who lash out to feel powerful, by those who hide behind shallow comforts and escapes that no longer soothe. Suddenly, the old tricks stop working. The gossip, the noise, the endless cycles that once numbed the ache will lose their power. What used to fill the void no longer touches it. And in that silence, the black moon confronts them. It does not punish, it reveals. It does not punish, it reveals. It becomes a mirror that cannot be discarded, reflecting back the truth they've tried so hard to bury. For the first time in a long time, they are forced to sit with themselves and see what they have been doing and why. Yet this truth is not meant to be met with judgment. For those who walk as the chosen ones, the calling is not to condemn, but to witness. Your task is to remain steady while the illusions unravel around others. You are the quiet reminder, if they are open to hearing, that the black moon is not here to destroy, but to clear the filters clouding their vision so that clarity can finally return. Because awakening often begins in the moment when you are forced to face the very things you've been running from. And this is why your sense of isolation has never been an accident. It has always been a part of your path. You are meant to stand apart, unreachable in certain seasons. As the black moon draws closer, especially on the 22nd, that quiet call to vanish may become stronger. Not because you are afraid, not because you are lost in sadness, but because silence itself is calling you inward. You may feel a sudden need to step back from people, from conversations, even from responsibilities, and at first it may seem confusing. You might wonder why the voices of those you love feel overwhelming, why the familiar feels heavy, why solitude feels less like a preference and more like a command. But this is not weakness. It is not avoidance. It is not depression. It is something sacred. It is a form of cosmic protection. The universe is drawing your energy inward, keeping it safe and sealed so the inner work meant for you can unfold without interference. Think of a seed just before it pushes through the soil. At that stage, it is hidden, unseen, unreachable. It is not dead. It is transforming, becoming something new, alive in a way it has never been before. That is what this isolation is. For those who are chosen, it can feel as if the world is pulling away, but in truth, the world is making space, removing distractions, stepping back so that you can receive something meant only for you. This is why the 22nd will feel heavier than the days before. The air itself may seem thick, conversations could feel shallow, and even the presence of those you care for may feel strangely suffocating. It may seem as though your energy has been placed behind glass, untouchable and unreachable. But this is not rejection. It is preservation. You are not being pushed out of the world. You are being sealed within your own energy so it can root, strengthen, and expand without disturbance. Your silence is not emptiness. It is the soil of something sacred, holding and protecting the life that is preparing to emerge. There is a mystery in this strange pull, one that cannot be ignored without consequence. Those who resist it will find themselves drained, restless, and scattered, forcing themselves to act as though life is unfolding as usual when deep down, they sense it is not. They will keep up appearances, continuing to socialize, to work, to pretend everything is ordinary, and in doing so, they will lose the very energy that was meant to be safeguarded. Yet for those who surrender, for those who allow themselves even a few quiet hours away from the noise of the world, a different story will unfold. In that stillness, clarity will rise like dawn after a long night. Strength will return, and the inner compass, dull and misaligned for months or even years, will reset itself with surprising precision. This is the hidden gift of those chosen beneath the black moon. It does not come through attention, crowds, or recognition, but through the sacred permission to disappear for a time and allow something greater to stir within. At this moment, the world has no claim on you, because it is not supposed to. Your path is being shielded, your energy protected, your spirit quietly prepared for what lies ahead. The truth is paradoxical. The less reachable you feel on the 22nd, the more chosen you are. Despite the whispers of unease or shadow that often surround it, the black moon is not here to torment. Its role is not punishment but completion. It arrives to close cycles many have been unknowingly stuck in, carrying burdens that felt endless, watching opportunities slip away, wondering why every effort seemed to crumble. This moon carries the rare power to end that streak, not with sudden explosions of change, but with a subtle redirection so delicate that you may not even realize it has happened until you notice yourself standing free of the weight you once carried. The black moon is not destruction. It is redirection. It silences the loops you've been circling, the broken records of delay and repetition that have kept you trapped. And for those who have remained faithful to their path, even through hardship, this moment marks the beginning of reward. The darkness will not undo your progress. It will preserve it, protect it, and then magnify it with force greater than you have known. This is not the sudden transformation people imagine, but the quiet turning of momentum, a tilt in your favor that grows stronger with each step forward. What feels like an ending is, in truth, the beginning you've been waiting for. When the sky goes dark and the silence presses close, remember, absence is not always emptiness. Sometimes it is the reset you've been praying for. For some, this black moon will finally end a long season of misfortune. For others, it will multiply blessings already rooted. But for all who have been waiting, it is proof that the deepest dark is not punishment but preparation. Black moons are never ordinary. They are not simply dates marked on a calendar. They are vaults, sealed containers of divine energy that only open when the timing is right. This time, that key moment falls on August 22nd. Though the moon peaks on the 23rd, the doorway does not wait. It opens a day earlier, and if you do not recognize it before the 22nd has passed, you will step into the vault without the key. And a vault without its key does not open. It closes, keeping its treasures locked away until the timing comes again. The 22nd carries with it the energy of transition. It feels like the very last breath before the sky surrenders fully to darkness. The final pause before an unseen chapter quietly begins to unfold. On this day, the atmosphere itself presses down on the spirit. Some will notice it as dizziness or a wave of restlessness, while others may sense it as a strange tension building in the body or even in the mind. None of it is random. It is the vault testing who is truly awake and who is still moving through life half asleep, unaware of the deeper shifts unfolding around them. This moment is not meant for asking, wishing, or demanding. It is not about rushing to manifest something with urgency. That is where many lose their footing. The energy of this time does not respond to desperation or noise. It responds to presence. The black moon does not grant rewards to those who clamor for more. Instead, it quietly acknowledges those who are prepared, those who carry awareness in their steps. It invites them into a deeper current of flow, a stream of energy so rare that most will never touch it in their entire lifetime. But if you move through the 22nd distracted, careless, and unaware, it will pass like any other day, leaving no trace at all. This is what makes the 22nd so much more important than people realize. It is not the spectacle itself, it is the doorway. The great unveiling does not suddenly begin when the vault swings wide on the 23rd. It begins the moment the key turns in the lock on the 22nd. To miss that instant is to miss the essence of everything that follows. On this day, many who are sensitive will feel a heaviness that cannot be explained. No amount of rest will ease it. It will not matter how calm the day has been, how many hours of sleep were taken, or how balanced the body appears. The exhaustion will reach into places deeper than the mind or muscles. It will live in the bones, in the spirit itself, like a fatigue that has been carried for lifetimes. And yet, this is not ordinary tiredness. It is not burnout, nor is it weakness. What you feel is the soul arriving at the finish line of a marathon. It didn't even know it was running. The black moon does more than close cycles. It takes away the last of the burdens that were never meant to stay with you. For months, maybe years, you have carried responsibilities, lessons, and spiritual loads that belong to past versions of yourself. They shaped you, tested you, and trained you, but they were never meant to remain forever. And now, on the eve of the black moon, your soul lays them down all at once. That release can feel like collapse. It can feel as though you are walking out of a battle you can barely remember, carrying scars you cannot name yet still feel. Your body may appear fine, your mind clear enough, but your spirit will know it has been carrying centuries of weight. And in truth, it has. Every unfinished cycle, every karmic knot, every story that was left half-written has tugged at your soul one last time before finally letting go. Imagine what it feels like to hold your breath underwater until your chest begins to ache, and then suddenly breaking through the surface for that first desperate gulp of air. There is relief in that moment, but also a deep heaviness that comes with it. That is what the 22nd will bring to those who are attuned. It is not punishment, nor is it collapse, but rather a release. The truth, though, is one that many will struggle to grasp. This exhaustion is not something that needs fixing. It does not need to be hidden under caffeine, forced activity, or endless distraction. What you are feeling is not a weakness of the body, but a realignment of the soul. The harder you resist it, the longer it stays. The moment you surrender, it begins to soften, to fade, to dissolve. The black moon is stepping in to close the final chapters of what has weighed you down, declaring them complete and sending you forward into the next season lighter, freer, and unburdened. That heaviness you've been carrying was never truly yours. It was borrowed, carried only for a time, and now it is being lifted away. So if you wake on the 22nd feeling as if you have returned from a battle you don't recall fighting, don't be alarmed. That emptiness you sense is not a void. It is a space being opened within you, a clearing being made for what is about to arrive. The universe does not scatter meaningless signs. Nothing is placed in your path by accident. Every detail unfolding now is part of a rehearsal for the next act of your life. As the black moon nears its peak, the air itself sharpens. The veil between the visible and the invisible grows thin, and guidance slips through in ways too precise to be denied. What once might have been brushed aside as coincidence will now appear undeniable enough to remind you that you are standing at the threshold of something immense. And as the 22nd draws closer, synchronicities begin to stir all around. But they won't come in the predictable forms that people often talk about. This is not just angel numbers flashing on a digital clock or a stray feather landing at your feet. What is approaching is far more intimate, woven directly into your personal story. These signs will touch the deepest threads of who you are, speaking to you in ways no one else could possibly interpret. IT may come in the form of a song you haven't heard since childhood, playing in the very moment your thoughts drift to someone from your past. It may be an animal crossing your path, not just any creature, but the one that has always held a place in your dreams, in your family's stories, or in the secret symbolism of your own spirit. It may be a name spoken aloud on the street, overheard on television, or whispered in passing, the exact name that has been echoing in your mind for weeks. These are not random or generic signals. They are not scattered across the sky for just anyone to interpret. They are messages with a laser-sharp focus designed specifically for you, carrying the exact guidance you are meant to receive at this moment in time. These moments are not random hints or vague nudges. They are direct guidance. They are breadcrumbs left behind by the version of you that already knows where you are headed, leading you closer to the role you are meant to step into once the black moon has passed. Nothing about this is by chance. The universe isn't playing games with you. It isn't testing your strength. It is preparing you. Imagine a stage before a performance, where actors go over their lines again and again until everything flows naturally. That is exactly what the universe is doing with you now. It keeps handing you cues, repeating patterns, and dropping reminders, so that when the curtain finally rises after the black moon, you will not stumble into the scene unprepared. The signs that are showing up for you right now are not casual suggestions. They are rehearsals. They are dress rehearsals for the life you are about to enter. And here is what makes this moment so urgent. The synchronizations you're noticing are not permanent. They are brief sparks of alignment, flashes of energy that arrive exactly when you need them. When the black moon passes, the channel will narrow, and those messages will fade into silence again. That is why you cannot simply dismiss them as coincidence. If you hear a word echo 3 times in a single day, pay attention to it. If a number keeps appearing on receipts, clocks, or street signs, let it guide you. If a stranger speaks words that feel as though they've been pulled straight from your own thoughts, take them seriously. None of this is random. It is the universe at its most precise. And you are the one chosen to see it. Not everyone will recognize these signals. The signs may scatter themselves across the entire world, but only those who are awake will notice their true meaning. Many will ignore them, brush them aside as nothing more than chance, and in doing so, walk past the doorway that was waiting for them. But you will not. You will feel it in your chest, like an echo of a memory you forgot but instantly recognize. The signs won't just appear around you. They will move through you. That stirring in your heart, that vibration deep in your being, will be the proof you need that they are real. What you notice now, in the days leading up to the black moon, will shape the reality you step into afterward. These synchronizations are not here to entertain you. They are not distractions. They are instructions, invitations into the next chapter of your life. If you ignore them, the doorway closes. If you follow them, the vault opens wide. And when the black moon itself arrives, it will not come with spectacle or fireworks. It will not dazzle the sky with brilliance. Instead, it will slip in like a shadow moving quietly through an open door. There will be no dramatic announcement, no glowing sign for the world to notice. On the surface, everything may appear unchanged, but beneath it, timelines are shifting, realities are being rewritten, and an entirely new stage is being set. Black moons don't announce themselves with drama or spectacle. They don't crash into your life with fireworks or thunder. Instead, they move in silence, subtle and unseen, yet carrying enough power to shift the very direction of your path. Their arrival feels like a quiet ripple that travels beneath the surface of your spirit, like a hidden current pulling you towards something greater. The weight of what you choose to notice or to ignore around this time can stretch far beyond the present moment, echoing into the next 6 months of your journey. A single moment of dismissal, a refusal to pay attention to that strange heaviness or pressure within, could mean that the doorway meant for you passes quietly without being noticed. The changes this black moon sets in motion are not the kind you could track immediately. They won't reveal themselves as sudden miracles or overnight transformations. They begin almost invisibly, as faint cracks in the surface of old patterns, as small realignments in timing and energy that are easy to overlook. But those cracks spread. Slowly, they deepen, and before long you find yourself looking back and realizing your entire path has shifted, not from one grand event, but from a series of quiet, unseen adjustments that reshaped everything. This is why you cannot wait for signs to appear in a way that shouts or demands your attention. This moon doesn't work through spectacle. It speaks softly, through whispers and echoes, through subtle repetitions that feel uncanny, through strange alignments that arrive with perfect timing, too exact to be coincidence. And it speaks now, before the world at large realizes anything is stirring, before the curtain rises, offering you one final moment to ready yourself for the role you're about to step into. The true strength of the black moon doesn't lie in what you can see above you in the sky. Its power lives in what cannot be seen, in the emptiness, the hollow space it carves out, the invisible room it creates for something new to be born. To the casual observer, it looks like nothing is happening at all, as though the night is no different from any other. But those who are awake, those whose spirits can feel the shift, will recognize it instantly. What looks like absence is not a void. It is a womb. It is a space where change takes root in silence before it grows into something undeniable. This is not a moment to chase noise or distraction, nor is it a time to measure your life by what is being added to it. The real movement lies in subtraction. The signal comes from silence, not from sound. The shift is happening in what is stripped away, not in what is given. You may feel it as sudden exhaustion, a deep pull to step back and retreat, as coincidences that border on eerie, or as a draining of energy that seems to come from nowhere. On the surface, it may look like loss or absence, but it is not. It is alignment. It is a careful recalibration of what can and cannot follow you into the chapter that is waiting to begin, and this is where many miss the point. If you ignore that emptiness, if you scramble to fill it with noise, with distraction, with anything that prevents you from feeling it, you lose the very gift the black moon offers. You miss the seed that has been planted in the dark, the quiet shift of the wheel that turns unseen. You miss the invitation to walk into a new chapter of your life, a chapter that does not open often, one that only reveals itself once every 32 months. To dismiss this moment is to let it pass unrecognized. To honor it is to step consciously into a space that is already reshaping you. Whether you notice it or not, the world won't announce this truth to you. You won't see it flashing across the news, and even the sky won't offer a clear sign to confirm what's unfolding. Yet somewhere deep inside, you already sense it. The real question is whether you'll pay attention to that inner knowing or let it pass by as if nothing ever happened. The black moon does not ask for your belief to do its work. Transformation is already set into motion, with or without your acknowledgement. But the part you play in this unfolding is shaped by your awareness. If you choose to honor what is happening, this change has the power to lift you, to expand you, to carry you forward. If you choose to dismiss it, the same change may move past you, leaving you standing still while life shifts around you. If you've stayed with me through this message, I want you to know how much I appreciate your presence here. Your time, your attention, and your openness matter more than words can say. If these reflections stirred something in you, and you'd like to continue exploring this path together, I invite you to subscribe and remain part of this journey. It means so much to walk this road alongside others who feel the call of these energies. And if you feel moved to share what you're experiencing in this moment, I would love to hear your voice and your story.